Oh, what's up? YouTube, is my mic working? Hello? My mic's working. I don't think my mic is working. How do I change this? Is it recording? Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Test! It seems like it's picking up something. I don't know what it's picking up though. I don't know. Maybe it's picking up something. Let's turn down the gain. Let's see what happens. Turning down the gain. Turning down the gain. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think that might be working. I think it's working. I'm working. Well, so what's up, YouTube? I'm Cordless. I was going to talk about Rust today, and the reason why is because this guy named Casey Mo TV, who I've been watching forever and a day, he kind of makes me laugh. But so he's evidently quitting Rust, and I totally hear that. So I guess this video is sort of for him. So I was gonna. So it seems like people, whenever they get too many of us in a conversation, we just sort of go asinine, is the best way I can put it. I think it's just too many people talking to each other. So when you get like something becomes popular and people watch a lot of it, you start getting negativity sort of creeps into it. Because I mean, at our core, we're all kind of negative inside somewhere. We have some negativity in us, right? And maybe you want to consider that like your little devil inside or whatever, but we all have that. We all have our breaking point. We all have our stressors, and some people just kind of go up and just stay at their stressor level, and then some little thing happens. Could even be something that somebody you're following on the internet, says something, and then you just flip out and you say stupid shit, right? Which is sort of hard because he's so popular, right? It's just not like I could email him or something, right? Most I can do is post this video response on his YouTube post about quitting Rust. Is what I would say is like, so dude, um, I mean, like you say you think you're gonna quit Rust, but then you're all pissed off about all these people saying this shit about you doing whatever it is you want to do in your video. And what I'm saying to you is you can do whatever the fuck you want in your video. And if I don't like it, I won't watch it, but I'm not going to get on there and be negative and try to convince everyone else that it's not a good idea to watch it if I don't agree with it. But I wouldn't do that anyway. I mean, I saw your video about the gambling thing and I was just like, meh, I don't gamble. I don't like gambling. It's just not my thing, but I don't really think that it's a thing that you should say people shouldn't do. And I mean, if we have a situation or a system in which somebody can gamble and that's your choice and you want to go do it, then fucking go do it. I mean, that's your right as a person, an entity here. Why is it we need somebody dictating that we can't do that? On the other hand, gambling is sort of an addictive behavior. And, I mean, some people can see why it's wrong. So my point is polarized. It's a polarized topic. It's a highly polarized topic. And what does that mean when something's polarized? When we hear that word a lot, we just think that means what? There's two people raging on either side of the spectrum and nobody's in the middle. I mean, I'd kind of like everybody to sort of walk to the middle of this argument for a second and think about this, is that number one, the kids that are on play Rust, they're all very mature. I mean, when I was a kid, I was very mature. I was 13, 12, 13, 14. I was like an adult. You could talk to me like I was an adult. I felt the same way that I feel now. I thought things back then that I still think now. My body wasn't an adult, but my brain was adult-like. And I can tell you that a lot of the kids that play Rust are very adult-like. That's why they play the fucking game. And they get in there and they cuss and they squeak and they do the things that they do. And I don't look at that as something that you need to come in, you being the police or something, coming in and dictating that they can't do this stuff. I mean, they're going to come in and they're going to watch videos about people gambling skins. And if their parents give them credit cards to buy skins for a game, I have not bought one skin. I think I like collected some free skin that I had. I just don't care about skins. And I mean, if you make choices that you think that you need skins to be happy in a game that you play, then buy skins. And then if you want to gamble on them, then gamble on them, right? I mean, you already spent the money. The money's gone. The skin is nothing. The skin is literally a bit in a database. It doesn't matter. I don't use skins. People use skins because they want them. They content and made a lot of people laugh and really lightened up the game a lot and made it better, frankly. I mean, hell, I don't even know why the people that play Rust don't even should just hire Casey Mode to do stuff. That way he doesn't have to have this stupid sponsorship stuff. He wants to do what he loves to do, but now he's conflicted because some asshat posted a bunch of crap. Well, I mean, it's just stupid. It's just polarized. It's polarizing. And Casey Mo's becoming polarized as well. And Casey Mo, I want you to know something. Here's the deal, how things work. This is interesting. You are actually somewhat at fault for doing this, and you're rationalizing that you're not, but you are. But on the other hand, you're also not at fault for doing anything. And here's how that works. Okay, so we're going to talk about guns, but we're going to talk about real guns. So there's an argument in the United States about, it's basically surrounds the Second Amendment, right? Our right to bear arms. And there's a lot of people who are pissed off about people who want to take away guns from people or take away the right to buy a gun from someone. It's the United States, so you have a right to have a gun. I have guns. I grew up in Oklahoma. I've shot guns a bunch. I'm totally okay with the Second Amendment. I'm not okay with somebody grabbing a gun and going in and blowing away a bunch of people, which is happening a lot here. I don't know why it's happening a lot, but it is. And so I think it's important to talk about it. But when you talk about it, if all you get is absolutely no, you can't take away our right to bear arms, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore, and that's conversation is over, you have a polarized argument. And the polarization doesn't come from necessarily the people. It's not like they decide this is how I'm going to argue about this. It actually comes from the argument itself, or the way that the argument is formed, the way the argument is constructed itself is the part that's important here. And the way that that works with guns is that if somebody has, you know, maybe some stressors or some problems or whatever, and then they're able to visualize in their mind the use of a weapon of mass destruction. And I mean, like being able to kill a lot of people with it. If they visualize that weapon in their mind, and they're using it in their mind to kill people, then that's what eventually causes them to lose their shit and go and do the thing that they're seeing in their mind. And the way that image is formed, when you visualize something, your brain sort of rationalizes when it's visualizing something. You're not actually conscious of building that image that you see in your mind. This is just the way it works. We don't really understand how that works, but it's more or less how it works is your brain constructs that image in your brain, right? It does it for itself. You're not conscious of it doing it. You're not like, I'm going to put my gun in a gun in my hand now. I'm going to put some shoes on my feet. I'm going to put a coat on. You don't, you know, in Rust, you're dragging it over, right? And doing all that. But in your mind, when you create an image, it's just created by your mind. So your mind has to have a reason to be able to see that image in your mind. And if you can go buy a gun, which is really designed for war, I wouldn't say all guns are designed for war, like rifles, shotguns, hunting animals, right? Pistols, protection, maybe, right? But, you know, like fully auto AK-47, if you could go get one, which you can pretty much do in the United States, if you part it together, you can put together a fully automatic AK-47. It's against the law, but you can still do it. Then you can imagine taking that gun in your mind and going off and doing something with it, maybe, right? I mean, that's a possibility. Now, some people can't do that. They just can't. And I'm one of those people, which is why I'm talking about this. I'm one of those people. There's a few of us creeping around, you know, we're like 1 in 50. We don't form those objects in our mind. I don't have a mind's eye that I can do this. I've made videos about this. It's called aphantasia, but that's sort of a wrong term for it. But the way you can think about it is I can't imagine myself doing stupid shit. And regardless of whether or not I believe that I can gain access to the things that I can imagine. Now, I have some friends who can imagine whatever they want. And I even have a friend I talked to who's like, he used to do judo or karate, right? And he said, I would visualize killing people in my mind as I'm practicing. And this is evidently a common thing. And he's like, it's a slippery slope. You don't want to kill people, but then you have to become better at this thing, right? So, I mean, we're all playing, us rusters, right, are playing a game where we're visualizing killing people all the time, right? And one of the things that we like to do while we're doing that is visualize, the skins in there too, right? Those are important to us. That makes it our experience, I guess, for some people. But the thing is getting upset about gambling away a fucking skin is that you already spent the money on the skin. It doesn't really matter if you lose the skin or not. As Casey Mo has said time and time again in videos, like in Escape from Kharkov, it's like you can lose your stuff. It's the risk that makes it real. If you watch Westworld, that's what they're talking about right now. That's the current season is really talking about the risk being real. So anyway, just remember that in order for Casey Mo to be guilty here, you have to visualize trading or gambling away your skins and then go do that. You have to make the choice to go do that. And you can't blame it on him because he shows you the image, right? He's not entirely at fault. And Casey Mo, you're showing people images of gambling, and some people aren't able to deal with that. And so they're going to get angry at you. But that doesn't mean all of us are thinking that way. Most of us are not visualizing gambling away skins. Rust. So fuck y'all. That's it. That's my rant. See you later. I appreciate you, Case Mo.